coming home in a lonely, cold ass house. Yeah, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I'm trying to do. Um, and just being a person's girlfriend or boyfriend, yeah, they pretty much a free agent. And so now I'm just trying to give them a 1 year contract. I'm going year to year, trying to re-up on it like a scholarship. Now I don't want to go year to year. I'm trying to do something permanent. Now I understand I'm taking a penitentiary chance on a woman could sit there and say I'm not happy and I'm gone. But I'm willing on taking that shot again. I'm willing on rolling the dice. I'm willing on doing it because I believe in it, and I want something something stable, something long lasting. And so I'm gonna do whatever I got to do. Make sure I provide everything I need to provide. I make sure she's mentally good, emotionally good, and she's gonna be physically good. I need to provide that for her to make sure she's right. But I need to make sure she's right before I get with her, before I bless her with my last name.
Yeah, so I think what she was saying definitely does tie right into Cloud Jones' question from the last segment, because one of the main things she was explaining is how us as men really don't need women for much, right? And that's the tangibles, right? So, in my opinion, I think we should come out pretty much ready, right? We should have all of our stuff in order. And I understand Bruce's point when he was saying about the leverage. And it's just, in all honesty, men feel a lot more comfortable when they do have the leverage. And a lot of that is because we are scared as hell of what these women are going to do if they have the leverage, right? But we know what we are trying to do. We want to hold down a stable household. And a lot of times, men, we can't trust the women to be in a position where they can leave us. And we kind of do have to protect ourselves as men. If we're getting ready for the whole marriage thing, unfortunately, today, it's to the point where you want to have a tight prenup in order. And it is, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in the 90 percentile where the prenups actually stand in court. So it's not like if you write a prenup, it's common for them not to stand in court. So if you get a good lawyer who knows how to write a prenup and is experienced, then you can protect yourself and make sure you're good. There's not very much you could do about the children's situation, but at least you can take care of that part of it. So if you're established on your own, then you'll be much better off. I would feel crazy if I was waiting on a woman for me to be stable, right? Because you just might not get that woman. There are some things that we do depend on women for, but it's the intangibles, right? We want affection. We do want love. We want companionship. We want a great mother for our children, and all that's great. But at any point, that woman could pull a rug from underneath you, right? Finances, mixing finances with women is a scary thing, man, because women spend money different. That's another thing that you have to vet for when you're considering marriage. A lot of us don't take the time to do that shit. Like we just out here, we looking, we like her. Oh, she got a fatty. Let me go ahead and get it, and we get ourselves into crazy trouble. Even if we get along with the chick, that's cool, but we have to just watch how she moves. People don't talk about those credit scores when we first get into a relationship. We have to. I need to know how you spend your money. I need to know how much of a liability you are prior to me actually locking in potentially for life with you. We don't have those discussions. We don't bring these things to the forefront. We just go with the flow and love and get ourselves in all kinds of shit that we don't need to be getting into. I think we have to take our time when we're selecting, when we're vetting these women, but we should also be very prepared. We should be proud as a man to be able to provide for our woman, right? A woman's supposed to bring that softness to your house, right? She bring that femininity to your house. But I wouldn't depend on her bringing the bacon home. That's just not how I feel about it. But to Lewis's point earlier, you do have to understand what type of man you are, and I do realize that today it's extremely tough for a man to provide for his entire family, right? It's not common for a man's income to be able to support a family of four, right? We talking about the averages of just under 50,000, just over 50,000, depending on your demographic. So when you consider that, it's tough. So I dig why some men would say, you know what, nah, it's tough out here. We can get more things. We can get a bigger house. We can get more for our children. So I understand that point. But That would be scary as hell for me. It's not for me. It's not for everybody. But shout out to you if you can go through that and depend on a woman to help you bring your bacon home. That's a whole nother animal. I'll leave it there for now.
You know what? I fundamentally feel like society is a better place whenever you're able to have a stable household, provide a stable household for kids. And I think the way to do that is being married. I think marriage is an effective way to ensure that you have a stable household. And I see a lot of issues that are, happens in society. You can't even develop a community if you don't have any male leadership. Only way we can lead is we have to get women to follow us. To get women to follow us, we have to love them and marry them. You know what I'm saying? Give them something to follow. So I would say that would be the reason why. I mean, even if I'm able to provide for myself, reason why I would get married is to, you know, bring my kids into the world in a stable household. I don't know if anybody disagree with it. I get it. I get it. All the nuances that come with that and chances of getting divorced and breaking up. But I think the risk is worth the reward. If we giving our children a shot at having a mother and father in the household, it may not work. You can't see
Well,
these things before they happen. There's things that come about, but I think it's a chance that's worth giving based on our children. The sake of the kids.
Bruiser, for that point, I definitely agree with that, but I feel like that's the main reason for you to get married. I don't think it's very advantageous to men if you don't plan on raising children to get married in the first place, right? Even if you're going to have a long term partner, if that's something that you choose to do, great. But I think that the main reason for that is to have a stable household for children, right? We know the stats. We don't have to go over that whole thing and what happens if you have a dual parent household versus not. So I would say that would be the primary reason to get married is if you want to start yourself a family.
Yeah, but I think it has an
Wait,
indirect
let,
impact
wait,
on.
let's get some other voices, man. I
Oh, go
want to
ahead,
let's
go ahead,
spread it
man.
out. Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. My bad.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Okay, thank you. So why should you get married if you can provide everything for yourself? Um, I think you shouldn't. I think you shouldn't. If you believe women are only for sex or to provide services like cooking and cleaning, then don't get married. Don't. You know, in order to especially in this day and age where women can provide those things for yourself, and society has graduated to the point where you can order food, you can order cooking and cleaning, you can order all those things. If that's the only value that you see within a woman, don't get married. Don't put that on her. Don't put that on you. Don't run yourself through that ringer. You're gonna end up getting divorced because you essentially are not valuing the things that women bring to the table by doing that. Um, and in order to actually value what women do, you have to appreciate women so you can value that respect, that love, the honor, the way that she adds extra love into the cooking, because the cooking might just taste the same if you don't appreciate her sacrifice, if you don't appreciate her trying to do the extra little things. Like Trev was saying, it is all intangibles, right? There's no way that I could quantify what it feels like to come in the house and see my family smiling at me. I can't quantify that. I can't put a dollar amount on that. It would be infinite for me if I had to try and find a place. There's no way when I'm listening from the other room and I hear my wife telling the kid, "Hey, no ice cream," and then they try and talk back, and I come in, what she say, and then they, "No ice cream," okay, and then the smile that she have because I'm there having her back, like the small things in life that we can't value on paper provide the most value intrinsically to us for our lifestyle. Um, Women like there are different types of women. The right type of woman can remove stress from you. She's not a
Those
stressor.
those intangibles, huh?
Those intangibles, bro. All those intangibles. And when you got a woman that's reciprocating great energy, providing all those intangibles, being there for you in whatever facet that is to clout point. Because some men will need financial assistance. The right woman will do it and won't have no issue with it for the type of woman that you getting. Or if you need somebody to act as your sounding board all the time, the right woman will be there listening. she will be shooting in the gym with you, and she'll continue to shoot in the gym with you. And when you're in a position when all those things met to the beginning portion of the video, I believe you then start to not only want to do this, but you take pride in providing physical safety, financial safety, spiritual safety, because that's a part of you. You're not protecting her, you're protecting a part of you, because you don't see y'all as separate no more when you start moving within the right spiritual element or the right mind frame. Yeah, I honestly, my heart go out to anybody that cannot value women past just sex, cooking, and cleaning, because there's so much more. There's so much more in there, but you got to be open to experience that. So yeah, if you can just do all the things for yourself, might as well start masturbating too. Just do it all, knock it all out. But if you learn how to like women and love women and want something more from them, then yeah, you're gonna want to get married, because you're gonna want somebody with you when you getting old. You're gonna want somebody to sit on the porch with you and you laugh about the Lapeef conversation and how we just be saying crazy stuff sometimes. You're gonna want somebody to watch Love is Blind with you when you're 75 and y'all just chilling and laughing at these young folks. It's immense, but you have to appreciate women to value women. I end it there.
I'm gonna keep it a bang. Most of you motherfuckers need marriage. Over 85% of y'all need marriage. That's the reality, because you can't go it alone. Most of y'all can't go it alone. Unless you don't, if you want kids and you want a family and you want to be stable, most of y'all need the shit. Not just for the frilly shit that Marcus was talking about, but now you need the tangibles. Because the reality is, because most of y'all really, like, yes, can we take care of ourselves? Absolutely. But once you throw a kid or two in the mix, shit get real expensive. When you throw a house into the mix, shit get real expensive. Most of y'all need marriage. Tangibles, intangibles, you need the whole 9 yards. You need somebody to make it from one end of life to the other end of life so that you don't wind up on the street. Because most of y'all ain't gonna be, unless you okay with going it alone with no kids. You don't want no legacy, or unless you plan on being a bum and just getting chicks pregnant all over the place, and that's your legacy, is a bunch of kids that don't know who the fuck you are because you can't take care of them because they're expensive as shit. You need somebody with you. And that's for 85% of y'all. The other ones, you can probably make a baby, have a baby mama over there, and you can still be in the house by yourself, and you ain't got to do shit but send money over there and collect your kid every now and again, and you cool. That's because you make enough money to do that shit. The rest of y'all niggas, men and women alike, y'all don't make enough to make it through the end of life by your damn self.
You're a good pitch man for marriage. I like all the window dressing and the parsley that you put on the side of it. So you saying you need a piece of paper so that you can be stable and live a life with somebody.
Well, regardless of which way you go about it, y'all need somebody. Now, I get what you're saying as far as the piece of paper.
You didn't say that. You said we need marriage.
Marriage. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
I gave you an example. My aunt and my uncle, they're like a foundation to me. They never got married, but they ain't going nowhere. They have houses. They live good. Not knocking marriage. What is for you is for you. But when you come out Bible thumping and saying that this is the way and this is the only way, then you ain't living right. Your life ain't right. Your life, it can't be stable. You can't raise kids with good values and core morals and ethics. Not knocking marriage. That's when you become disingenuous. That's like them people out there. If you don't read their little pamphlet, you're going to hell.
So if you with somebody to the end of time, why not get married?
You cleave to the
I'm just asking because you saying that you don't. I'm asking why not get married?
I thought you wanted an answer.
Right.
Okay, so you cleave to the Western civilization way of marriage that you were taught.
Fair.
When before they dragged us over here in shackles, how did the union?
I can't talk about that because that's not what I'm a part of, and I don't have
how
no
can
knowledge.
You get up on your pulpit telling people
because I know this side of
live a good life.
I'm talking about this side of because I'm in this country talking about marriage.
Watch this. So that means if you don't know the origins of the thing that you Bible thumping and up on your
Bible,
okay, allow it to. I'll give you the room. You're
right, but you're
people
telling
you
me I'm
came
talking
on
from a biblical standpoint. I'm not Bible thumping.
Okay, you gave a decree, and your decree stated that if we need marriage. No, we don't. We need to be good people. You can find somebody. You need that piece of paper to validate you as a person to have a stable household.
I think it's further than just a piece of paper, man. You just got to understand what it does to society.
Okay, Bruiser, I made the case. The origins of marriage. You're standing here promoting something you don't know how it started.
I gotta know how.
Proof, but this is a whole nother episode. But
does that make somebody? There's financial benefits to being actually married on paper,
and there's financial shortfalls as well.
Yes, but you're saying okay, you a good person and that's a good person. Y'all come together like butt cheeks. Then why not get married? You know you're gonna be there.
Because that's what your mental trains you to think. There are people that have been together, that died together, that have not been married. What makes your decree more powerful than their union?
I didn't make that argument.
I could answer that.
We need. Once you said we need, you're telling us what to do.
I can answer that. Okay, so let me ask you this. Wait, I'm gonna ask this question. If you got a girlfriend, y'all cohabitate. Y'all get in an argument, y'all file out on Wednesday and break up. Who's to say that she can't go out on Saturday and Sunday and bust it open? She don't owe you no obligation. She don't owe you no loyalty. No. She don't have your last name. She's not the same thing. Huh? A wife can do the same thing, but she has vows. She'd be breaking her vows. But if you
what difference does that make? She breaks them, and then what? And then what you gonna do about it? Nothing.
Well, I'm saying that you're held to a higher standard, and you have some skin in the game when you get married.
But you're gonna be crying. You gonna be crying when she step out the same way the nigga that's not married crying.
So now we're talking about the result of the action. I'm simply asking the question: if you have a girlfriend, is she not justified to be able to behave as a single person if y'all break up, or if y'all have a falling out, and say, "Look, fuck you," and hang up?
What's stopping a wife from doing the same thing is what I'm curious about.
She has vows. She's married. She has to have a divorce.
But respectfully, listen. I know a lot of wives that have made vows and break their vows all the time, brother. So again,
you just answer the question. She has to break her vows.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah, but my point is that what's the difference? Like whether she has to break a vow to do it or not, the action is the same.
But it's not the same because if you're a girlfriend, you don't have to break any vows. You can move how you want. If you're a boyfriend, you can move how you want without having to break any vows or feel
a relationship is still a contract,
religious or spiritual conviction that you're doing the wrong thing.
A relationship is still a contract, even though it's not
a girlfriend boyfriend relationship is not a contract, brother.
It's still a contract. It's still a contract. If you say to someone, "We're going to be in a relationship,"
you got a girlfriend. You've been in a girlfriend boyfriend relationship with a contract.
Bruiser, that's like, you know what you're saying right now, Bruiser? It's like saying if me and you shake on a business deal, that's like if me and you shake hands on a business deal, that's like you saying, well, we didn't have a deal. Yes, we
don't have a deal unless I sign it.
Nah, that's not true.
Maybe not one holdable up that can be held in.
You don't have it in black and white.
Maybe not one that can be held up in.
Anyone listening, any man listening, if somebody shake your hand and say we got a business deal, any young man listening that might not even be hip, don't believe that shit. You have
any real man shake hands and look in each other's eye. That's a deal.
Let me help you out
I don't know
real quick.
what world you living in, but any real men that shake hands on a deal, it's in stone, brother.
That don't got nothing to do with you being a real man. That got you something to do with you being a fool if you shaking hand and making business deals.
Okay,
You know how many business deals get tossed out because it was just over a handshake, and all the other person got to say is, "I didn't give it. I didn't tell them I was going to do
You know how
that."
many contracts have been breached? It don't make a difference. If somebody gonna do you grimy in business, they're gonna do you grimy in business, whether you got a contract.
I don't want to
or not.
get too far off the path. I knew Bruiser would go biblical. Now, if you had a Nigerian man up there who adhered to his customs as for how he went about his unions, he would conflict with how you see your Western ways.
I don't
disagree. You would tell him he is wrong.
I'm not arguing that.
No, you are, because you're basing, allow me to finish and you can respond. You're basing your views on your beliefs.
Oh, no, I'm basing my views off of where I live at. I'm basing my views off of the law of the land.
Okay, I'm going to try again.
The society I live in.
Biblical into it. Did you or did you not?
No, I did, but that's not the whole premise of my
say no and say yes.
I mentioned spiritual conviction in
that is the binding thing that you're making an
but
argument.
That's not my sole premise. It was just one of the points I made within my premises, and you're trying to make it holistic to that. It's not holistic to that.
Brother, you are making it biblically bound. You're saying you're breaking.
I never quoted a scripture. I never said a Quran. I never said a Bible. None of that.
Okay, we're gonna do the word semantics. What vow am I breaking? How do I take that vow under what?
You can take a vow under the state and
take
it's still a vow.
You don't have to be under a specific denomination.
Okay, Sweeney, we can do this game. All of us can hold hands and do the Texas two-step. Do they not present a Bible once you making your vow?
Did they? Shit, I got married through the courthouse. I got to think.
Okay, we're gonna do this. You see what we're doing now?
You can go to the courthouse and get a marriage license without making any vows.
When you say your vows and you stand across from that one that you're marrying, what did they read off?
What did you say, Trey?
No, I said I did. I did mine off of the Bible.
You can do it off the Bible. That's
I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for everybody.
Sweeney, did you do yours off the Bible?
I can remember during the ceremony we did, but we had a courthouse wedding beforehand. I don't remember there being a Bible.
So you just said yes.
Me to square the circle.
Wait, no, you missed the second half of what I said. I said during our ceremony, yes, but I don't remember a Bible being present or swearing on a Bible when we got married through the courthouse, because that's how we got married. We got married through the courthouse.
Where'd your vows come from? Off of the auspices of what?
Whatever the courthouse said in the state of Texas.
Why are we doing this, Trev? Why are we doing
this? Because that's what
it was. For better or worse, whatever y'all said, y'all know good and damn well what the man is saying. The vows y'all said when y'all looked each other in the face at the altar came from scripture.
We came from the Bible, yeah. Well, that's what I said.
You didn't put your hand on the art of war. You didn't put your hand on 48 laws of power. You put your hand on the Bible. Like, why are we doing this? Come on, we grown men here. Let's stop it.
And that's when you came in and said 85% of y'all need to get married.